Well, thank you, John, and to the board members and all of our supporters and guests, and of course our athletes and consumers. I'm actually very humbled, and I appreciate the opportunity to be recognized. But in all fairness, it's thank you to you. If I'm, a little bit older than John, I'm 54, but since 10 years old, I've had the privilege to work in our family pharmacy in Cohoes, Mayor's Pharmacy. And yeah, it inspired me to become a pharmacist. But you go back 44 years ago, and we started to see a change on how care was to be provided to those individuals with disabilities. And I've been very fortunate to work with that community on a regular basis. The consumers who we've seen their lives change dramatically, and also, just as importantly, the direct service professionals that have been with them all the way along the process. I know I have to be careful about speaking too long, because I've always been told as a politician, the last thing you want to do is between your audience and dinner. However, you made the fatal flaw of having dessert first. So I feel like the Olympians, thank you. You are an inspiration. My cousin is the coach of the track athletes that won this year. And I've always admired just as him as a coach, but to actually see those people who've performed. Thank you for sharing your stories tonight. I think many of us can say that we felt we were with you as you described your experience.
I'd like to say thank you for having me here today. I just want to say give a big round to one of my best friends from Special Olympics, Ed Lawrence. He played for 4 years with me. I've been involved with Special Olympics for 42 years. I've been involved in competing in sports. In 1989, 2007, I went to Shanghai, China to compete in volleyball competition. And in the Greece and Island competition, I was chosen to represent New York. And I've been doing it for 20 years. This December, I'll be 20 years. Thank you. And
hi everybody, my name is Jason Morris. As he said, I am a local guy. I'm from Glenville, New York. I've competed in 4 Olympic Games. I was fortunate enough to participate in 4. 88, long time ago. 88, 92, 96, and 2000. And then I was the head coach of the judo team in 08 in Beijing. I run my young guys and girls to be sportsmen, students, and negotiate all that, as well as be, a lot of them live with me, so they learn how to make their bed, they learn how to spent the last 15 years doing, and I want to thank you guys for having me here. I actually was not aware of this organization, and I'm very honored that this exists. I hope you'll consider inviting me back.
Silver and bronze Olympic medalist, flag bearer for the United States in 2002, and an integral part of the skating community in Saratoga Springs. And Amy's got a few words to say about her Olympic journey. Amy?
First off, thank you, Barbara and Judy, for inviting me tonight. The ARC is a wonderful organization, and I'm very honored to be here with you this evening as part of your events. I really grew up in a family of speed skaters, which speed skating is not really the normal sport, but my mother speed skated, her 2 brothers, and the ups and the downs, which all athletes go to. And I was fortunate enough to qualify for my first Olympic team when I was 15 years old, and I competed in Calgary, Canada in the Olympics. I fell in about the first 25 meters of the race, which if anybody is familiar with short track speed skating, typically the referee calls the race back and the race starts over again. But I learned very quickly at that Olympic Games that the referee may call the race back. So my first Olympic race at those, and I think after that fall in that first event, I really didn't ever want to skate again. And
Thank you, everybody, for having me. First off, tough act to follow these two. I've known these two for many, many years. Fortunate enough for me, I went to one Olympics, did not medal. So I'm going to just take you through kind of how this worked out for me. When I was like 6 years old, even prior to doing judo, I told my parents, I'd like to go to the Olympics someday. I remember seeing this commercial of this gymnast with these abs he had, where I was like, wow, I'd like to have that someday. Anyways, a couple years later, through the rec department, there was a judo program that one day a week, my parents looked at the coach like he was crazy, and they were like, yeah, sure. So anyways, I started going to practice twice a week, ended up being 3 times a week. That year, after I first started, I ended up winning nationals. Totally cool, totally awesome. With that being said, 20 years later, I ended up making the Olympic team with Jason. Best experience of my life. One of the biggest things, though, because I did not medal, my family was there. My family went through so much to get me to the Olympics. It's not the easiest thing to do. There's a lot of money spent, a lot of time, put into it. So my parents are like, you know what? This is one of the biggest things you've ever done. We want to make sure we're there. So I ended up getting a connection through one of my teammates through Motorola, and they got their tickets. So just kiddingly with my buddy, I said, hey, what's the chances of me seeing my parents here at the opening ceremonies? Now, when I walked in, literally 120,000 people screaming.